What up racer, it's Jerone here, and welcome back to another league racing video. Today here, FRL around Monza, and as you can probably tell by the title, I might have messed up my race a bit again. I decided not to essentially create a hype around this race, and just wanted to show you like the main highlights of the race, which starts off with qualifying, because I actually had a decent qualifying lap for once. Somehow still P5 in the standings, but to be honest, standings don't really matter too much, just trying to get good results around a grid of very experienced drivers. And yeah, let's go through this qualifying lap. Turn 1, very good. Got the inside curve for turn 1 a lot and got good traction on the exit. I think this is my best sector 1 I've done this game basically. Then braking for the chicane, you want to cut this inside as much as possible as well. Try to carry the minimum speed through, which I do. Lesmo 1, hug the inside, then run onto the exit curb. Lesmo 2, missed the apex a little bit here, which definitely cost me about half a tenth. And currently, I think my sector 1 and 2 combined, I was on for a personal best basically. Then Ascari, trying to carry as much speed as possible, but I sort of missed that apex a little bit, was scared of spinning out if I had turned in earlier, and unfortunately I lost a lot of time here. And then the Parabolica, and I just get hit by a lot of understeer, which I wasn't really expecting, hence I also lost quite a bit of time there. In the end it is 1 minute 18.6, whereas my personal best is 18.3. I think it was definitely in there, lost all the time in that third sector. But besides that, I was very happy with the qualifying lap. I think I had a shot at pole position actually, but I messed it up in the final sector. But yeah, as I was explaining earlier on, I might have messed up this race a little bit again. And as much as it probably annoys you to watch it, it hurts myself even more. I mean, I'm trying to improve, trying to learn, and it's not exactly working out. Anyways, we're onto the race start, and I think the leaders actually touched on the formation lap, hence they had quite cold tires, so I'm braking quite early for turn 1, making sure to leave a little bit of space at the outside, and I get the space for my namesake Jeroen as well. And in the end we hold our position for now, but we will be going side by side, going into the chicane, and this is not a chicane where you want to go through with two people, hence I decided to back out because you're at the inside, so I didn't want to cause an accident immediately. Anyways though, managed to keep front wing clean, lost one position off of the start, and Jeroen had quite a poor exit here, so we're going to use quite a bit of ERS, try and make something happen, but it's just a bit scary to dive bomb down the inside into Ascari. So trying to get a good exit here, and there's virtual safety car, which immediately gets turned into a safety car, which I did not notice at the time. I still thought there was virtual safety car going. And yeah, not even sure what happened, but Miku retired from the session, and Jeroen doing a little fake into the pit lane. But I knew from my practice runs that in theory from lap 3 onwards I could go onto the mediums and make it to the end, so he was faking it again, but I'm actually coming in and trying to do a bit of a strategic masterclass, and I was planning on not pitting anymore from this point until the end of the race. And let's see whether that will work out. So safety car restart. Not exactly very close to Kyle, because he accelerated quite heavily just before going into the Parabolica, and behind me Zach on a drive-through, and he was trying to get a bit close, but I think I had superior straight line speed here. And braking for turn 1, it's a bit awkward as Kyle was going very slow, and I was trying sort of to stick a wheel down the inside, and fortunately he did leave me the space, so GG's to him, and now we will have the inside for the next chicane, so we should be able to get this position done, which we do, and we're back up into P13 this race. There were a couple of others as well who had made a pit stop early on, but I don't know whether they have the same intel as me and were also planning on going long this race. I think in front of me everyone still has the tires they started on, so at this moment I was feeling quite good and noticed Game Freaks was a little bit slow, so he had quite a poor exit coming out of the Parabolica and I had a much better one, so we're gonna use quite a bit of overtake. He doesn't defend the inside, so we go down the inside in turn 1 and still not quite getting the move done into turn 1, so we have to leave him the space for turn 2 and we get better traction because we have the outside line. Then next lap DRS gets enabled again, got up to F1 Champ and Aidan, and unfortunately they are battling into turn 1, which was not exactly what I was hoping for, because I was hoping to essentially minimize the gap to the leaders, because I knew everyone would still pit, as we see the Ferrari of Simblix into the grass on the left hand side. And yeah, all this battling is not exactly working in terms of staying close to the race leaders, as F1 Champ jumps that curb, which you do not want to do, and that promotes us to P10 in this race already. And as you can see, Giel is off, and that is another virtual safety car, which immediately turns into another full course safety car. This time though, everyone who started on the soft compound obviously pitted, and that means that Aidan is, I think, the only one who hasn't made a stop in this race yet, so he's on old mediums. Then, well, I'm also on old mediums now, as are the 3 cars behind me. And then I think it's Yogurt in P6, who is the first driver who pit under second safety car. And yeah, to be honest, I have 20% tire wear, so in theory I should be able to make it. And a few laps later you can see some of the other drivers who pitted under the first safety car had fallen back behind Yannick, Gazizel, etc. And yeah, just not defending Yannick here, decided to let him go. Then on the next lap, of course, Gazizel on fresher tires, and I didn't want to give up P2 too easily, because I thought there might have been an opportunity to hold on to this place. In the end it was a bit unrealistic. We defend the middle of the track and Gazizel decides to go down the inside for turn 1, and we sort of still have to leave him a bit of space here on the exit, because last thing I want is us both crashing out of this race, not doing Max and Lewis here. So I'm using a lot of ERS here to stay ahead of Gazizel, which in the end means that Yannick was able to pull away. I wanted to keep within 3 seconds of him, ideally, because, well, now that we're out of 1 second anyways, there's no way I'm gonna hold on to a 3-second window on my own. And then here in the Lesmo, I make a bit of a mistake on exit, and yeah, from that point onwards I just decided to sit behind Gazizel, and now you have a little compilation of me going through Lesmo 1 a couple of times the laps before I will unfortunately make the mistake. So as you can see, all just very clean. Wasn't particularly pushing, I was pushing a bit on the ERS to make sure I could keep up with Gazizel, who obviously had fresher tires, and here it is.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Yep.
There's been an incident on
Somehow I still have wheels, but I don't have a front wing, and that's just race over basically. I sort of hate myself so much, but I don't know, I feel like I didn't do anything that different compared to the previous laps. And it's also like not a zone where I was paying high attention, like into turn 1, into turn 4, into Scary. That are the zones around this track where I'm making sure I have optimal concentration, and for the Lesmos perhaps not so much. And I don't know, I'm just a bit confused as to why that spin actually happened. Of course it's my own fault, and it might have to do something with the fact I was a bit closer to Kazizel that time, because he made a mistake, and that influenced the airflow. But yeah, to be honest, I'm just disappointed. I think second place was in the bag there, considering Kazizel had a time penalty, and I think I had only one warning at that stage, and I was quite confident I could keep that. Anyways, next week we go again. See ya.